I believe, yes. Sorry, I'm a little bit late, I know, but technical difficulties. Just trying to work it out as I go along. So we're ready to start. Sorry if it's a little bit echoey, but we're ready to start. Sorry, technology is not my friend today. But I can tell you that England have won the toss and chosen to bat first. Um, We've saw Ben Stokes earlier talking about the wicket, expects best usage out of it first. Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett are out in the middle about to open the batting. I can tell you the teams as well just before we get our first ball in. Zach Crawley, Ben Duckett, Ollie Pope, Joe Root, Harry Brook, Ben Stokes, Jamie Smith, Gus Atkinson, Bryden Cast, Jofra Archer, and Mark Wood. So no Shoaib Bashir. We thought we might see Shoaib Bashir, but we're not going to see Shoaib Bashir. He's um, not been selected in the final 11. They've gone for the full seam attack. Atkinson, Cass, Archer, Wood, and then obviously Ben Stokes as well. And we will also be seeing good toss to win to someone. Yeah. So if you're joining me, by the way, please do drop in a comment. I think it is a pretty good toss to win, actually, for England. This is going to be the best use of the conditions. We'll see how things go. I'll give the Australian team as well. So Usman Khawaja and Jake Weatherald at the top, and then Marnus Lambashane, Steve Smith, Travis Head, Cameron Green, Alex Carey, Mitchell Stark, Nathan Lyon, Scott Boland, sorry, screen's just changed there. Scott Boland and Brendan Doggett is going to be playing today. So that is the 11s. Let's have a look at this. And Mitchell Stark has got the ball in his hand at the Perth Stadium. This used to be a rocket of a pitch, but it's changed as they switched to the drop-in method. There we go. Stark in, outside the off stump, push to point. There is no run. And there we go. The Ashes are underway. We have begun for 2025. What do you think the result of this Ashes is going to be? Drop it in the comments. I'll be reading live comments as well. I think the stream is going to be available offline afterwards. Although I'm not sure because the orientation is that way, and originally I planned for it to be that way. I don't know. Learning as we go. Let's see how we progress. It's a good length from Stark, though, to start with. I found his radar straight away. High pressure game, obviously, for both teams. Let's see if he can keep this going. Crawley looks pretty settled. He always looks really good, and then he gets out. That's the problem with Zach Crawley. 3 slips in place. Crawley lets that one go by through to the keeper. No run. And Stark's got Crawley out twice in test matches before. But Crawley's got a pretty decent average. He's got 77.5 run average against Mitchell Stark. So that's not bad at all. Anyway, if you're joining me, let me know where you're joining me from. What do you think is going to be a good score first up on this wicket as well? Looks like a really good pitch. It looks like a glorious day as well out in Perth. So what do you think? Is this going to be... are we looking at 300, 350? I think if England can get somewhere beyond 350, they'll be very happy. Here's Stark in again, full swing and a miss from Crawley, and Stark put his arm up as well in his follow through as if he's closing in. He felt like he was closing in for sure. So thanks so much for joining me, everybody who's joining me. This is a bit of an experiment at the moment, but I'll keep you up to date on the score. I've got a little score sheet as well. That will let you know at the end of every over what the score is. So stay with me. We're 3 balls in to the Ashes, and Mitch Stark bowling well. Lots of England flags in the crowd, and they're always sort of specific to clubs. Like there's a Scunthorpe United. I just saw Scunthorpe United one. There's a Chelsea flag as well. They're all St George's crosses. Here's Stark, and again left alone this time by Crawley. He's found a really nice channel here, Stark, just outside off stump, bowling at over 141 kilometers per hour. So found a good pace pretty early doors at the moment as Mitch Stark. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this all goes. A huge English contingent actually in Perth. Lots and lots of England fans. There's loads of these tour groups that organise, these cricket tours. And England, I think, has more than anybody else in the world. Loads of tour groups and things like that. That go from England to Australia, even to Pakistan. I remember that. As Stark into Crawley again. This time he drives, gets the middle of the bat, but plays it straight to a shortish mid-off. There is no run. He's looking good for a maiden here to start with at the moment. Stark depends what he can do with the last ball, but so far very, very tidy stuff. And I don't remember the last time England played out a maiden to start a test match. They're usually very much on the front foot. But so far, Mitch Stark has really had control over his length, and Zach Crawley's really been sort of tied down here. He's played and missed at one as well. It's been Stark's over. You get the feeling Crawley's going to try something here. There's an opportunity for Mitch Stark. You get the feeling he's right on the verge. Here's Stark in again. Outside edge, straight to first slip. Catch is taken. It's Usman Khwaja, I think, at first slip it is. And Australia have their first wicket. Mitch Stark celebrates, high fives all round. England have lost a wicket without scoring. 1 over gone. England are no run for 1 wicket. They do it the other way in Australia. They do wickets first and then run. So it's 1 for no loss. 1 for none if you're Australian, or none for 1 if you're English. Either way, that's a disappointing way to go. Crawley just ball moving away from him ever so slightly, playing a very loose shot. Bat miles away from the body. Feet going absolutely nowhere. Outside edge, pretty straightforward catch for Usman Khwaja, and a really bad start to the Ashes for Zach Crawley. Bad is probably the nicest word we can use for that, but that's not great. That's not great from an England perspective. That is atrocious. Looking at it again, outside edge, and he looked straight back at first slip as well, guilty as you like. And we felt like it was coming. So there's nothing much you can do. So England, after 1 over, here's your score after 1 over. England, 0 for 1. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's my high-tech scoreboard. I hope you like it. Yeah, that's not a great start for England. Ollie Pope is in the action straight away. And Scott Boland is going to come in. Ben Duckett has been sitting at the non-strikers end all this time. He hasn't had a chance to face anything. And Australia, what a start. Remember, they lost the toss. England won the toss, decided to bat first. And 0 for 1 is not what you want when you won the toss and decided to bat first. Steve Smith said that he would bat first as well if he'd won the toss, to be fair. But still not ideal from an England perspective. Far from ideal, in fact. Remember, Steve Smith is standing in for Pat Cummins, who's injured. Can't play this first test. Duckett's going to face for the first time. Scott Boland's tying his shoelaces. I feel like he could have had his shoelaces tied before. It's only like the biggest test match of your career. And like you're tying your shoelaces. I feel like you got to be ready for this. I don't know. Anyway, there's Scott Boland. He's got 3 slips and a gully in place. As then he comes to Ben Duckett, who beats his outside edge. Oh, man. That was a beautiful start from Boland. Slightly foolish length, in fact. And I think Duckett was caught in 2 minds. Didn't know whether to defend or let it go. Taking another look at it. Yeah, slightly foolish length. And just moved away from the left-hander off the surface. And it was one of those from Scott Boland. Good start from Australia. They've been bang on the money so far. England yet to get off the mark with 7 balls into the Ashes. Boland into Duckett. Thick outside edge. Trickles just wide of the fielder at backward point. They'll get through for a single. So England are off the mark. They finally scored their first run of the 2025 Ashes. 1 for 1. 1 for 1. That's, Let's have a look at some of these comments. Disgusting shot by Zach Crawley. I agree with you, Basit Gurmani. It was a disgusting shot. And who is that? Swan Manhotra? Hi, bro. Boycott wouldn't approve. He certainly wouldn't. Pierce Mac says, yeah. It's a very inauspicious start from England so far. But they managed to get off the mark. Here's Boland into Pope. Thick outside edge. Past gully. This might go to the boundary. It's quite a quick outfield. Now it's going to slow up. It's slowing up towards the boundary sponge. I think it's Lambashane who's done the fielding. They'll get back for... How many did they get in the end? 2? See, this is hard. Like 3. They got 3 in the end. 3 for Pope. England on to 4 for 1 now. After 1.3 overs. This is interesting. When you're at a cricket ground and commentating live, like you have this... You can see it, So when batters have run 1, 2 or 3, but I'm relying on TNT Sports. That's what I'm watching at the moment. Normally, if I wasn't doing this, I'd listen to TMS on the radio, especially late at night, rather than stay up and watch. But it's the Ashes, so I've got to watch. We got respect the format. Disappointing way to get dismissed. That too on naught. I completely agree. 1981 AHB. Start to take 3 in the first spell. That's a big shout, Swan. As that ball's defended back to the bowling run. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Let me know. Yeah, there's a Russian comment. I don't know how to read that. Sorry, my friend. Last ball was defended back to the bowler, by the way. No run. So England are 4 for 1. Pope's on 3 off 1 ball. Duckett on 1 off 3. And if you're just joining us, England won the toss, batted first. Mitchell Starc bowled a brilliant first over. And with the last ball of it, he dismissed Zach Crawley, who just wafted outside his off stump, caught at first slip off the bowling of Starc by Usman Khwaja. So here's Boland in, this time left alone by Duckett outside the off stump, through to the keeper, no run. Respect. Thanks, buddy. And what does this say? Whom are you supporting? I think it's fair to say I'm supporting England. I've followed English cricket for a long time, but more than anything, I'm hoping just to see some good cricket. Just some good cricket. That's what I'm looking for. Hopefully an entertaining Ashes. Let's see. But so far, it's been a little bit disappointing, actually, from England. Let's see if they can recover. It's only Zach Crawley. It's only Zach Crawley, he says. But Crawley has gone. Here's Boland into Duckett, who squeezes that away just in front of square leg. Fielder from mid-wicket will have to pick up. They should be able to get back for 2. They do. It was a bit of a leisurely piece of fielding there, if I'm honest. But either way, they pick up another couple of runs. A good over for England. 6 runs coming from it. After 2 overs, England are 6 for 1. Let me get my high-tech scoreboard ready for you guys. After 2 overs. There we go. Score time. Look at that. Don't say I don't put the effort in. I don't know if you can see it the right way around because cameras and stuff. I don't know. I'm trying here, guys. Right. 6 for 1. Terrible start by England. Really awful, has to be said. Who's up for Ollie Pope clean bowled by Mitch in this over? Well, let's see. Could happen. It'll be interesting to see what the approach Pope takes against Starc will be. He's really bowling really well so far. In comes Starc to Pope, who leaves it alone outside the off stump. Keeps a little bit low, actually, on its way through to the keeper. So, yeah. Let's have a look at this. What does that say? The lack of preparation by England is showing here. No real games before the first test. You're right, Bassett. They've only played 1 warm-up match, and that was against England Lions. So England played against England Lions, so it's sort of basically an internal match, and that's no way to prepare for the Ashes. I feel like you got to have a longer build-up. But I mean, back in the day, you'd have like 3 or 4 matches against the President's 11 or the Prime Minister's 11 or whatever it is. And, maybe a Sheffield Shield team, but the modern schedule doesn't allow that anymore, sadly. And the Pensby Chippy is the best chippy in Britain. All right, Ultimate Warrior, I'm down, man. I have a feeling I know who Ultimate Warrior is. Is that you, Sandeep? Oh, waft that one just bounces short of second slip. Oh my God, Ollie Pope was looking for a cut shot, didn't get a hold of it, and got a little toe ender on it, in fact. Let's have a little look at the replay. That was a chance. Yeah, just got little top edge, and it just dropped short of second slip. Maybe second slip wants to come up a little bit more, but not a lot of conviction in that shot from Ollie Pope. Again, feet went absolutely nowhere. Dear, oh dear. Yeah, thanks, Sandeep. I'm pretty sure that's Sandeep. Hi, Adib Bhai. Watching you live from Calcutta, India, around 8 a.m. Good morning to you, my friend. What are you having for breakfast in Calcutta? Mitch Starc's got his boot off, by the way, at the moment. He's just sitting on the turf. We're 14 balls in to this test match, and Stark's already got his boot off. I don't know, man. I feel like these are like modern cricketers. I feel like you got to be prepared and ready to just keep going. Let's have a little look what happened here. No, they're just showing a replay of the Crawley dismissal. Yeah, that's awful. If you're an England fan, you just can't keep what. That is just really disappointing. The Pensby Chippy does fresh battered cod, which is tender and succulent and goes nice with salt and vinegar on top. Awesome. That's dope. Yeah, so we're just waiting for resumption in play. Mitch Stark's got some issues. just been told, actually. Just been told. Just looked it up on a website. Stark's boots aren't working for him, so a new pair is being run out. Yeah, 14 balls into a test match, new shoes required. I mean, they don't want to take any chances, I get it. I was watching this video the other day on YouTube, which talked about Ronaldo, the footballer Ronaldo, his shoes. So apparently he wears shoes, like football boots, that are 2 sizes too short because it gives you greater control. I don't know. Sounds like it would be really painful and probably does a number on your toes. Right. He's tied his shoelaces. He's back on his feet as Mitch Stark, ready to continue. England 6 for 1 after 2.2 overs. Stark got the wicket. Crawley. There's a whole contingent of fans who are not really convinced by Crawley, I got to tell you. Right, Khwaja tries his best to drop it. Did his groin deflected back into his hands? Well, he kind of fell backwards, didn't he? He was taking the catch and he fell backwards, so maybe the groin helped. Here's Stark now, back in, and Pope defends that back to the bowler. Not very convincing, really, Pope. He just sort of wrestled that back to the bowler on the bounce, and there's no run. He's really bowling some good pace here as Stark in the 140s, mid 140s, all the way through his spell so far. And yeah, Ultimate Warrior, if you visit the Wirral, go to the Pensby Chippy. If I visit the Wirral, I will go to the Pensby Chippy, I promise you. And I'll get salt and vinegar on it as well. Yeah, it's a bit annoying, actually. I was going to do this stream off my laptop, but the last minute, I didn't play ball. Here's Stark in again, down the leg side. The first really poor ball that Australia have bowled so far today. They've found their line and their length, pretty consistently. That Stark's to your line a little bit. It would have been a good ball to a left-hander, that one, but sometimes you can strangle the batter as well, get a little cheeky inside edge down the leg side to the keeper. Good take behind the stumps as well, actually. Right. Stark's quick, man. Yes, he is. He's very quick. He's bowling some serious pace at the moment. There we go. Stark in again. Outside the off stump, left alone by Pope. Through to the keeper. England yet to score any runs off Stark. Stark's bowled 11 balls so far, and England haven't been able to get anything off him. They're just showing a wide shot of the stadium in Perth. It looks gorgeous. Beautiful cricket stadium. Optus Stadium is technically called by sponsorship, but they call it Perth Stadium when you don't have to do any sponsorship. Said hi. Oh, hi, Herman. Thanks for joining us, man. My nephew's watching. That's nice. 6 for 1, England. Unbelievable. Zach Crawley. I mean, what do you do? What kind of reception is he getting in the dressing room after playing that shot? I can't imagine his team are like, what do? You just avoid everybody? You find a dark corner? I don't know. Here's Stark into Pope, who again leaves this alone outside the off stump through to the keeper. That's a second maiden in a row for Stark. First one was a wicket maiden. Second one's a conventional maiden. England, after 3 overs, you know what? I'm going to save some paper here. Instead of using a new sheet, I'll just do that. So there you go. England, after 3 overs, are still 6 for 1. There we go. That's the score. Look at my high-tech scoring technique. Hope you guys are enjoying that. Thanks for joining me, by the way. I hope you guys are enjoying the game. They've gone to a commercial on TV. It's very interesting. The Shoaib Bashir thing I found very, very interesting coming into this test match. Like, England usually name their team like a few days ahead of time. So, normally you see England's 11. It's usually announced on Instagram or something, and they put it up like ages ago. Like 2-3 days before the match. But this time around, they did only name their full team on the day of the test. They kept everybody guessing whether Shoaib Bashir would play or not. In the end, they didn't. Here's Boland now in for his second over. Duckett on strike, over pitched. Duckett drives, threw mid on, down to the long on boundary for 4. First boundary of the innings for England, and it comes off the bat of Ben Duckett. England fans waving their flags and clapping. They haven't had a lot to clap so far, but that was a quality shot from Ben Duckett. England's first boundary. England into double figures as well. 10 for 1 after 3.1 overs. Let's have a look at some of these comments. Adibai, seriously speaking, your awesome live YouTube commentary already like a fresh sandwich breakfast to me. Just like how you commentate on the radio. Boom, boom. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. This is short and guided to cover, no run. Your sound is dropping. Bart is saying my sound is dropping. Is it dropping for anybody else? Just let me know and I'll make some adjustments. Sometimes it could just be his internet. So just let me know if anybody else is getting my sound dropping, and I'll make an adjustment. Yeah, 10-1 England. They've got 4 seamers in their attack for this match. 5 actually, if you count Ben Stokes, and he should. Stokes talked about looking at the surface, wanting the seamers. They do have Joe Root, and they do have that as an option with the ball if they really needed a spinner. Here's Boland into Duckett again, who leaves this one outside the off stump, through to the keeper, no run. And let's have a look. I'm from India. Hate Scott from every what does that say? Hates Scott from the very core of my heart. If you know, you know. Want Ben to trash him all over. Yeah, I get you, man. I understand. I know. Indian cricket fans probably don't like Scott Boland very much. But thanks for joining, man. Hope you're enjoying the live stream. Boland into Duckett, who drives. Mid-off has a bit of a chase here. Mid-off is like sort of straightish. They should be able to get back for 2. They do get back for 2. A little bit of hesitation coming back for the second one, but it was always there. Because it's not really a conventional mid-off or mid-on at the moment for Boland. They're sort of almost in front of the wicket. So they're not sort of behind on the edge of what would be the 30-yard circle. They're sort of in front of the wicket. So it's always going to be a chase if you get anything past the bowler as a batter. England on to 12-1 after 3.4 overs. Duckett on 9 off 9. Pope on 3 off 7. And they're really trying to recover here, England, after a difficult first over. Boland in. This is slightly over pitch, driven back to the bowler. Looking for a Yorker maybe on that occasion. Scott Boland. Yeah, Australia are going to be missing Josh Hazlewood a lot, especially on this surface. Josh Hazlewood would have been amazing on this surface. One of the most consistent bowlers in the world. People have talked a lot about the age of this Australian team as well. They're, I think only one player on this side is under the age of 30. So you can tell for Australia, they're not interested in sort of the future right now. It's that we'll worry about the World Test Championship later. Right now, we need to win the Ashes, and we just need our best people for right now. Anyway, England have looked more attacking, a bit more convincing against Scott Boland than they have against Mitch Starc. No run scored off Starc. All the runs have come off Boland. Here's Boland now into Duckett, who drives. Beautiful shot. It's a straight drive, off drive, whatever you want to call it, down to where long off would be. It's gone to the boundary for 4. Lovely one for Duckett. That's his second boundary of the innings. He's on to 13. England 16-1 after 4 overs. And you know what? I think with a bit of creativity, I don't have to mess around with my scoreboard too much. I can just go 1-6 and turn that into a 4. It's a weird 4, but it makes sense, I think. There you go. 16-1 England after 4 overs. Bit of a recovery after being 0-1 after 1 over. England, where'd I put my cap? What did I do with my cap? Doesn't matter. It's not important. It is. I don't want it to dry out. It's a Sharpie. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Well. 16-1. Ben Duckett playing some nice shots. Okay. Let's have a look. A few more comments. Sound is very, very crystal clear to me, as if in HD. Thank you, Debraj. Appreciate it. That's one massive spider behind you. Where's the spider? Is it just my hair? Here's Starc in again. Driven. That's a beautiful shot from Ollie Pope. Slightly overpitched by Mitch Starc. Driven away. Oh, it's a really slow outfield. I can't believe that hasn't got to the boundary. Oh, my days. Travis had managed to track that down and get the throwback. They've gone through for 3. It looked like a pretty good contact off the bat as well from Ollie Pope, but only 3 runs. This outfield, man. This outfield. England on to 19-1 after 4.1 overs. What else you lot been saying? There's no spider. That's just my hair, bro. I like to quiff it. It's just my style. Okay, sound is fine now. Duckett just played a cross-bat drive straight down the ground. He did, Bassett. He did. It's a good shot. Effective. That's an underwhelming run rate for Bazball. I think it needs to be underwhelming. I think England need to play within themselves a little bit. Obviously, they want to bring that, that positivity that's, created so much excitement about their game. But at the same time, you got to respect Australia. You got to respect the conditions, and you have to respect the attack that you're up against. Mitch Starc, terrific figures so far, and he comes to Ben Duckett. And he bowls. Ooh, beats the outside edge. That's a beautiful delivery. Just pulled his length back a touch, Starc. and ramped up the pace 143 kilometers per hour. And Duckett sort of squared up by a little bit as the ball goes past his outside edge through to the keeper. No run. England 19 for 1 after 4.2 overs. Yeah. Right, what's that? Never mind. I tried getting you 100% of the time. It works 10% of the time. Good one. Anchorman reference. I'm always down for those. Stark's going to seam away to Ben at the last ball in swinging Yorker. Okay. So this is let's see if you're right, man. Let's see if you're right. It's a good fast bowler's plan. He's got 3 slips in place ready for the away swinger. This is Fuller looking for a Yorker length delivery, but it's down the leg side from Stark. Go through to the keeper. No run. And he's maintaining that pace. He's been terrific so far, Stark. He bowled 2 maidens in a row. One of them was a wicket maiden. And this over, there's only been 1 scoring shot, the one that went for 3. But this has been pretty good. Pretty good stuff from Stark generally. England, though, mounting a bit of a comeback, I'm going to say. Playing positively. You know, after the loss of Zach Crawley early. They've been okay. They've done okay so far, I think. All right. Now then, Mitch Stark getting ready to deliver the 4th ball of his 3rd over. England 19 for 1. Duckett on strike. He's on 13 off 13. Stark in. That's worked away down towards the fine leg boundary. The pace of Stark will take it there. There was a fine leg in place, but he couldn't beat the ball. And that is another boundary for Ben Stokes. It's his 3rd boundary so far. Ben Duckett, I beg your pardon, sorry. 3rd boundary for Duckett. And England racing along now. They're on to 23 for 1. And they're still in the 5th over of the innings. So, I don't know. That net run rate is pretty much up there with Bazball. Stark's dismissed Duckett 3 times in Test cricket. Got an average of 31.3. A lot of these players have played each other quite a few times. Ben Duckett's made a good start here, 17 off 14. He's the kind of player who scores very quickly. So a Duckett ton to start things off. Who knows? A Duckett ton. There's a short. Oh, he's gone for it and missed it. Duckett. Just as I said that, he plays and misses at one outside the off stump, and it goes through to the keeper. There is no run. Goodness me, nearly put the mockers on him. Right. Thanks for saying hi, Swan. I appreciate it. Who's your top 3 run getters for England this Ashes? I'm going to cheat a little bit, buddy. 1981 AHB. I'm going to say Ben Duckett because he's currently their top run scorer. I'm going to say Harry Brook. It's a big series for Harry Brook, you know. It's a huge series for Harry Brook. He needs to, you know, he's already being hyped as one of England's best players. And, you know, if he can have a good series in Australia, have a good Ashes, that can set you up nicely for the rest of your career. Anyway, I'll tell you more in a second. Last ball of the 5th over. Stark in. Duckett drives beautifully, but this time straight to the fielder at mid-off. There is no run, so that's the end of the 5th over. The score is... I'm going to have to write a new sheet for this one. Yeah, I thought I was going to be able to recycle again. This is good. England have picked it up a bit. 1 after 5 overs. There you go. Score is 23 for 1 after 5 overs. I hope you're enjoying my high-tech scoring. Yeah. So, my 3rd England batter. Yeah, so Harry Brook, Joe Root, definitely, obviously, you know, England's best batter. Even though he doesn't have a terrific record against Australia in Australia. In fact, I believe Joe Root has never scored a century in a test against Australia in Australia. So that's something he'll be looking to tick off, I'm sure, in his already storied career. Do we think Joe Root's going to go past Sachin Tendulkar as the all-time top run scorer in Test cricket? I think he might. Here's Boland in. He's gone after it as Pope. Half stop at backward point. They should be able to get through for at least 1. And in fact, I think they get back for 2. Do they? Yeah, they get back for 2. Yeah, it was sort of short. And he took one hand off the bat as well, Pope, when he played that, looking for a square drive and sort of played it without much control, if I'm honest. Backward point, bit of an ordinary effort there. And Boland was not happy in his follow-through. Anyway, England on to 25 for 1 after 5.1 overs. What's this? Root, Duckett, and Brook on reputation and form, I guess. Yeah, for sure. Like, sorry, I've just seen you're bang on. I think we're thinking the same way. Although Ollie Pope, you never know. I watched Ollie Pope play an amazing innings against England, against India, not that long ago. As Boland in, this ball's defended by Pope, back to the bowler, no run. It's been good from England this, I think, after that first wicket of Zach Crawley, England have pulled it back a little bit, just kept scoring and kept the pressure on a little bit on Australia with their scoring rate, and just kept things in check a little bit. Boland and Ashes series, this is an interesting stat. He got 2 wickets at an average of 115 in the last Ashes, but a lot more in the previous one. I'll tell you more in a second, because Boland is in again to bowl, as this ball's been driven just wide of point by Pope. Should pick up a single. Oh, misfield. Think about the second. Duckett's halfway down the track. He has to turn back because there's no way there's realistically a second run there. Score moves to 26 for 1 after 5.3 overs. So I've lost track of what I was saying. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I wanted to make an observation about Ollie Pope's bat. I don't know, he's not. I don't know if he's got his timing 100% right or what, but he's not getting the ball to travel very far. He's not getting a lot of power on the ball. Maybe that's just me, but it just seems like weak contacts. The ball's barely getting off the square. It's a brand new ball as well, so it should really fly off the bat. Duckett sent it to the boundary 3 times so far. Duckett on 17 of 16 balls. England 26 for 1. As Boland is in again to Duckett, who guides this ball to Gully on the bounce. There's no run. In control of that shot was Ollie Pope. I beg your pardon, Ben Duckett. He's playing really nicely, actually, Ben Duckett. He still looks kind of busy at the crease, looking to score runs, not getting bogged down. And I called a ton, right? Remember that? I called a ton for Duckett. I think it might happen. This is unusually untidy start for Boland. He usually concedes under 2 runs per over early on. He is human after all. He is, my friend. He is. And, over pitching. That's very human. That's human error, that delivery. He over pitches, and Ben Duckett has driven that ball beautifully down the ground for 4. And Bassett mentioned the first one he played down the ground was a bit of a crossbat, but this was classical from Ben Duckett. And it was a bit of a gift from Boland, actually. And beautiful timing. Just had to meet the ball, really. Over-pitched. Half a follow-through. Knew all he had to do was get the ball past the bowler, and it was always going to travel. Little shimmy down the track as well from Duckett before he played that shot. Really good contact. England on to 30 for 1 with 1 ball to come in the 6th over. Boland in. Oof, nearly gets a top edge. An appeal, actually, from the keeper. Half an appeal from the bowler, but nah. Umpire says no. DRS timer comes on the big screen. They're not going to take a review. There was nothing there. But a good little moment for Australia. Though England have mounted a really good comeback here after 6 overs. They're 30 for 1, as I can show you on my high-tech scoreboard. There we go. 30 for 1. Very, very good stuff. Okay. Now then. How will things progress? It's been a fascinating start already to this Ashes series. I'm enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. It's nice to have a few people. I already thought I'd have my friend Bassett join me and nobody else. But this is nice. A few people jumping in, sharing your thoughts. If you're on the stream right now, comment with who you think is going to be, not 3 names, I want 1 name. Who's going to be England's top scorer in this series, and who's going to be Australia's top scorer in this series. So comment with that, and then we'll have a little discussion about that while Mitch Stark gets ready to bowl his 4th over. England 30 for 1 after 6 overs. Remember, they won the toss and opted to bat first in Perth. And it looks like a beautiful day. I'm so jealous, man. I nearly went to this, obviously, with my day job, my commentary job. But there's a long line of people who want to go to Australia for this series. And sadly, I was not in serious contention to go. But who knows, one day we'll go to Australia and commentate live. For now, I'll do it for you guys. Here's Stark in again. And Pope defends that ball into the covers. There is no run. And get me those comments, boys and girls. Let me know who you think is going to be England's top run scorer and who is going to be Australia's top run scorer in this series so far. A pretty good start from England, despite the loss of the early wicket. They're scoring runs at an excellent rate, really. 30 for 1 after 6 overs. This is good stuff, and it's largely coming from Ben Duckett, who's got 21 off 19. He's at the non-strikers end. Stark into Pope, and bowls, and Pope guides that away nicely in front of square in the leg side this time. Bit of a chase on. It's not going to get to the boundary. Of course it's not. It's off the bat of Pope, and he's playing with a wet towel at the moment. They pick up 2 runs. What is up with Pope's bat? It's not his timing, I promise you. It's something about his bat. Let's take another look at it. He just sort of turns that away, off the face of the bat. There's pace on it. It's mid-start. Why is the ball not flying to the boundary? What is going on? I don't know. 32 for 1, England after 6.2 overs. Pope on 11 off 13. Mitch Stark, after a couple of maidens, is now starting to concede a few runs. And England, a bit of concentration on the face of Pope as Stark in. Goes after it, cuts it half a stop at backward point. Gully, really. As will prevent the boundary. Really good piece of fielding, actually, at Gully, because that ball was really travelling. It'll just be a single for Pope. Take another look at it. Cut very hard behind square. And diving, one-handed stop at backward point. Who is that? Let's have a little look. Yeah, it's Cameron Green who made the stop. At Gully, diving one-handed stop. Good stuff there. Who's that? Sam. Why is Boland so inconsistent? I don't know. I just think he hasn't found the same rhythm today. And England have been moving around their crease a lot. I think England have been unsettling him a little bit. Again, there's the left-hand, right-hand combination going for England at the moment with Pope and Duckett out there. Maybe that's throwing him a little bit. I don't know. But even Stark, after those first 2 overs, looks like he's striving a little bit. He's trying to do a lot. And Australia know that England come at you hard. That's the one good thing about this aggressive approach. You put the opposition under pressure. Here's Stark into Duckett. Big appeal for LBW. Huge appeal. Finger goes up. Duckett has been dismissed. Is he going to review this? DRS timers on the big screen. Feels like Stark's got him. It looked pretty straight, pretty plumb. DRS timer down to 4. Is he going to review? 2 seconds, 1 second. I think he has reviewed it. The graphic just didn't go off screen. Yeah, decision reviewed. So Duckett has reviewed this. I've got to be honest, my instinct says that this is out. Unless he got bat on it, because it was a full-length delivery, Yorker-length delivery, struck him on his foot in front of middle. I think Duckett's in trouble here. Let's have another look at this. There's a bit of swing on it. Is it going to swing down the leg side? Remember, it's been given out on the field, so just has to be clipping. Just has to be touching that leg stump, and that's going to be enough to send Duckett back to the changing room. So the ball strikes him on his front pad in front of leg stump. So it might be going down, although it just straightens a tiny bit. Goes past the inside edge. There's nothing on Snicko or Ultra Edge if you prefer. So let's see. Here we go. Oh, it's hitting. Yeah, it's hitting leg stump. It's hitting about. Yeah, it's hitting leg stump. All of leg stump. So not even marginal, really. Duckett's going to have to go. So much for my prediction that he was going to get a ton, but that's a big blow for England. Duckett, who scores his runs very quickly, is on his way to the dressing room. He goes for 21 off how many deliveries? 20 deliveries, 4 fours in that knock as well. But England are now 33 for 2 after 6.4 overs. In a bit of trouble here. Mitch Stark with both wickets, bowling a fiery spell. Beautiful bit of bowling. And just looked at ESPN Cricket Info. The commentator has made the very astute observation that it looks stone dead unless he's got some bat on it. Yeah, it looked pretty close. Pretty bang on, really. Pretty easy decision for the umpire, if we're honest. Duckett maybe felt like it was swinging down leg side. I don't know. But it was one of those hopeful reviews. And out to the middle comes Joe Root. Let's have a look at some of these comments. Instead of a good run rate from England at a run rate of 5 per over, thanks to Duckett, I guess. Yeah, indeed a good run rate. Sorry, I beg your pardon, Dibraj. I'm reading it from a distance and I'm getting old. I can't read that well anymore. But you're quite right. Sam says, peach of a delivery by Stark. Absolutely, it was a peach of a delivery. Really good ball from Stark. And 1981 AHB says Root. Yes, Joe Root is out in the middle. Okay, get my pillow ready. My pillow, my cushion even. Right, what can Joe Root do? The second highest run scorer in the history of Test cricket is facing up to Mitch Starc with his tail up. He's in, and Root leaves his first ball alone through to the keeper. No run. Score remains 33 for 2 after 6.5 overs. Well. I don't know. Right, Bibraj says, damn, Duckett is gone just as I was praising him. Listen, I was praising him. I thought he was good for a ton. He was playing so many great shots. And to be honest with you, Duckett is quite a fun batter to watch. Like, he scores his runs in a very exciting way. You know what I mean? He's quite an exciting batter to watch, bro. He's gone. Right. Now then, Starc into Joe Root. Ooh, plays and misses that one outside the off stump. Oh, nearly got a feather on it through to the keeper. Very un-Rootian shot, that. But what an over from Mitch Starc. Big wicket in it. 7 overs done in this innings. England scoring at a good rate, but they're 2 wickets down. Both openers are back in the dressing room. England, after 7 overs, are 33 for 2. There's your score, guys. 33 for 2 after 7 overs. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. England. Both wickets falling to Mitch Starc, and you can't. You've got to tip your hat. He's bowled beautifully, absolutely beautifully, as Mitch Starc so far. Boland hasn't quite been on it. I'm just looking at one of the sections. It's got like England flags going all the way around. Each of the England flags has the name of like a football club or something on it as well. Boland in to Pope, who works this ball out towards mid-wicket. He's timed it well, but again, it's not going to get to the boundary. What is Ollie Pope batting with? Why are his shots not getting to the boundary? Is he playing with a bat? Is he playing with a string of spaghetti? Like, what's he playing with? Why is he... I don't know. It's getting really frustrating because he's timing them all perfectly. I don't know. Anyway, he picks up another 2. England 35 for 2. Right. What do you say, Sam? Joe Root has to do something now that he has never done, which is score 100, right? Yeah, like score 100 in Australia. There we go. Boland into Pope, who guides this ball nicely, just waits on it. They're going to get through for a quick single. No. Turns back. It's fielded at Gully. In front of Gully, actually, by a point. It's a dot ball. 35 for 2 England after 7.2 overs. Yeah, he's never done it before. You're quite right, Sam. Joe Root scored centuries all over the world, but not in Australia. So one of the incomplete parts of his legacy, as he tries to track down Sachin Tendulkar on that list of highest run scorers of all time in Test cricket. Wouldn't that be something if he did it? Boland into Pope, full, driven beautifully. Oh, back towards the bowler, who flicks it onto the stumps at the non-striker's end. Now, was he in his crease? They might have to have a look at this, I think they're going to have a look at this. It was driven beautifully by Ollie Pope. Joe Root he's smiling, but if he's outside of his crease, he could be in trouble because Boland got his hand to the ball in this follow-through and flicked it onto the stumps at the non-striker's end. So this could be a run-out. But Joe Root looks pretty confident that he isn't. We'll wait for a replay and I'll let you know. That would be a horrible way to go. Run out at the non-striker's end in an Ashes Test match. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, we know that the bowler got a hand to it. Yeah, he got fingertips to it, to the non-striker. It was a very unhelpful camera angle. We know he got a hand to it. Big appeal from bowler as well. Oh, he got his bat in time. He's fine. Joe Root. He just got his bat in time. And he sort of placed it in as well. He didn't slide it in. They teach you to slide it. I don't know if there's like a coaching method for this, but anyway, he's fine. Joe Root survives at the non-striker's end. Little moment of excitement for Boland. Actually, he turned quite swiftly. Even a split second later, and he would have been run out. Well. So yeah, come on, guys. Some shouts, please. Who's going to score the runs? In fact, let's change the question. Predict. Give me an exact score prediction for where England are going to end up. Boland into Pope, who defends into the offside. There is no run. Exact score prediction. Everybody watching, give me an exact score prediction, please, from England in this innings. What will they finish their first innings on? At the moment, England are 35 for 2. Pope on 14 of 18 deliveries. Root yet to get off the mark from the 2 deliveries that he has played even. Beg your pardon. Sorry, it's very late in England. It's 3:05 in the morning. So forgive me if I misspeak at any point. Nathan Lyons at deep point. Here's Boland into Pope, full driven past the bowler, through mid-off, down to the boundary for 4. That's Ollie Pope's first boundary, I think. That's the first time he's managed to find the boundary with the spaghetti that he's playing with. Spaghetti strand. What is it? A piece of spaghetti noodle? I don't know. Whatever. Either way, Pope has a boundary. He's on to 18 off 19. England 39 for 2 after 7.5 overs. Some nice shots from England so far, but also 2 big wickets. Zach Crawley went for 0 a little bit earlier to Mitch Starc, and Ben Duckett went for 21 off 20 deliveries also to Mitch Starc. Is Boland in this time? The ball's been left alone outside the off stump, through to the keeper. There is no run. So 8 overs have been bowled. We've had 46 minutes of play so far in Perth, and England are 39 for 2 after 8 overs. Oh, nearly forgot. I committed to this, didn't I? 39 for 2 after 8 overs. There we go. There's your score. 39 for 2 after 8 overs. Right. Good. Right, let's have a look at some of these comments. Oh, we've got a score prediction. Who's that from? 1981 AHB. 289. Oh, that's a good shout. 289 is a very good shout. I wouldn't disagree with that. I'll read the next comment in a second. I think Boland is, I beg your pardon, Starc is about to come in and bowl to Joe Root. Well. There he goes. Mitch Starc in, short outside the off stump, left alone. Through to the keeper, no run. And England remain 39 for 2. So, who's that? Sam. What is your opinion on Zach Crawley getting such a long rope? It's a good question, Sam. I think Brendan McCullum is the kind of coach who believes in like the group of players that he has. I know it sounds weird because you really want to go by performance, don't you? You want to like have people rewarded for strong performances either in domestic cricket or what have you if you're not performing at the top level. But like Zach Crawley's put in a few innings just in the nick of time. He always gets you that innings. You know, even after a long run, just as people are just at their breaking point with Crawley, he gives you that big innings. We'll come back to that. Starc is in. It's wide of off stump. Easy leave for Joe Root, through to the keeper, no run. So, yeah, I think Crawley, I vividly remember him getting, big score against Pakistan. 100 it was back in the year 2000. I was there. I was in the stadium when he did it. It was during COVID, so only the broadcasters were allowed. And I remember sitting there in the Ageas Bowl in Southampton. I know it's changed now. I think it's called the Utilita Bowl now, but it was called the Ageas Bowl at the time. I watched him score the runs. He's a very good player, is Zach Crawley. And it's one of those things like, do you want to risk dropping him before you get that performance? I don't know. There's different schools of thought. Starc in, short and wide, left alone by Root, through to the keeper, no run. If it was me, I probably would have dropped him sooner, but obviously, McCullum sees something in Crawley. Maybe he likes the combination with Joe Root. Sorry, I beg your pardon, with Ben Duckett, or Crawley and Duckett at the top of the order between them. Make quite a good combination, I think, for England. The left-right, they can dominate, they play aggressive cricket. The sort of really tall guy and the shorter guy, like, I don't know. I think he just likes it. And there's enough things going for it that he makes it work. It's hard to judge it in conventional terms because we'd normally think about, like players on performance. Here's Starkin again, guided off the back foot to backward point by Root, but straight to the fielder, no run. Score remains 39 for 2 off 8.4 overs. So my opinion is I can go either way, really. There isn't like anyone banging on the door to replace him either for England at the moment. No sort of conventional opener, really, I know there's a few players that put in decent performances in the county championship, but the step up to England, as we've mentioned before, has been very difficult for a lot of people. Right. Excluders runs against Pakistan and is average would drop under 25, I think. I think, yes, you're right, because when England went back to Pakistan, he scored runs again in Pakistan in 2022. Yeah, on that tour, I remember watching. Every time I'm watching live, he's getting runs. Outside edge! Oh, it's been caught. Joe Root's been caught. Stark has a third wicket. The catch has been taken, a third slip. Stark is just tearing through the England top order right now. He's got the big wicket. It's Joe Root who's been dismissed by Mitch Stark. Wow, this is an unbelievable spell from Mitch Stark. Just leaves him thick outside edge, carries to third slip. It's Lambashane who takes the catch. That's his 100th Ashes wicket. That's Mitch Stark's 100th Ashes wicket. They didn't tell me on that TV. I've got that in my stats. So Joe Root goes for a 7-ball duck. That wasn't in the script. 7-ball duck for Joe Root after England win the toss and bat first? What? Unbelievable. Wow. He's on track for a second wicket maiden here. He's bowled 2 maidens already in this spell. He could bowl a third one, and it could be a wicket maiden for Mitch Stark. He's been phenomenal so far. He's dismissed Crawley, Duckett, and Root inside the first 10 overs of play. England 39 for 3 after 8.5 overs. Unbelievable. Wow. 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 Just looking at it again. Good catch by Lambashane at third slip, but Joe Root just completely done in by a little bit of away movement. Kind of played inside it. Just turned, squared up a little bit. Right. Love to see you play, says Hasu. I don't play anymore, buddy. Just really low-level games, right? What is that? I checked with ChatGPT, and Zach Crawley's average, excluding Pakistan, is 27.9. Yeah. And today didn't help, did it? It didn't help at all. This is carnage. You're absolutely right. This is carnage. And the destroyer is Mitch Stark. He's single-handedly taking apart this England team at the moment. His figures are 3 for 10 after 4.5 overs. He's got Harry Brook to bowl out, who's the new batter out in the middle. I bet he wasn't hoping to be out there in the first 10 overs. Australia very much on top in the early stages of this game. It's all thanks to Mitch Stark. What a spell of fast bowling. England all over the place. Stark in, and Harry Brook defends the ball just in front of square in the offside. And there is no run. So it is a wicket maiden for Mitch Stark. That's his second wicket maiden. His third maiden. 5 overs, 3 for 10 for Mitch Stark. Wow. Wow. That's a serious display of fast bowling from the Australian. Wow. 23 Ashes tests, 100 wickets. In 23 test matches, this man has taken 100 wickets. That's insane. Averaging just over 26. That's amazing. That really is an incredible bowling performance from Mitch Stark in the Ashes. A big player for Australia. No doubt about that. Let's have a look at some comments. Oh, sorry, I didn't do the score, did I? Here. Very easy change, this one. 39 for 3 after 9 overs. There you go. 39 for 3. Yeah? 9 overs. Now then, Brendan Dockett's about to come in and bowl. This is interesting. Brendan Doggett. Haven't seen too much of him, if I'm honest. But curious to see how he does. I'll tell you some stuff about Brendan Doggett in a second. I'll read the comments as well. Is Doggett in for his first ball? It's slightly over, but oh my goodness, it goes between the bat and the wickets and the pads and through to the keeper. There was an appeal from the keeper, but nobody's going to review it. What a start from Brendan Doggett. Finds his length immediately. Wow. But Boland only got a 4-over spell. That's interesting, isn't it? I thought Boland would get a longer spell than that. Right, Brendan Doggett is 31 years of old. He's from a place called Rockhampton in Queensland, Australia. And this is his test debut in first-class cricket. With the ball, he averages 26. He's taken 190 wickets at an economy of 3.23. That doesn't matter, but he's played 50 first-class matches. Taking another look at that last one that went between the bat and body of Ollie Pope, who's on 18. Doggett in again. And this one again, he just sort of takes off of a length. He looks like he's not going to be that quick, Doggett, but he hits a length and then it just sort of takes off a little bit. It just skids off the length and bounces as well, very bouncy. He's a tall man, but very effective so far. 2 very impressive deliveries. Right. I've missed a few comments. I'm so sorry. If you remember, I told you Stark's going to take 3 in the first ball. You did. You did. Swarmehotra. Swarmehotra? I hope I got that right, buddy. Well done. You got it right. Good shout, Sam. I'll read the last one in a second. Dog it in, left alone outside the off stump by Pope. Right. Adibay, your score writing reminds me that as a teenager, when watching live cricket on TV, would write the live score on a laminated piece of paper with whiteboard marker and erase and write again. You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. When I decided to do this, because I'm trying to get my YouTube numbers up and stuff, like I'm just trying to like do something a little bit different. I knew I'd be watching this, so I was like, why not live stream while I do it? I went and I was going to go and buy one. I just couldn't find one in the supermarket I went to. Dog it in, strikes the pad. Big appeal for LBW, huge appeal. Umpire's not interested. It was a huge appeal from Dog it in his follow through. He's turned around very quickly. It's a very impressive start so far by the young man on test debut. 4 dots in a row. He's getting nip, he's getting bounce. Really good seam position as well. Let me look at it. Yeah, really nice seam. Oh, inside edge. It was a thick inside edge off the bat onto the pad, so that was a rubbish appeal, if I'm honest. But let's see. Yeah, no good. In fact, Steve Smith, who was standing miles away, was like, "It's off the bat, buddy." Here's Doggett in again to Ollie Pope, who flicks this ball fine down to the fine leg boundary for 4. It was down the leg side. It's the first poor delivery he's bowled. In fact, it's been signalled leg buys by the umpire. So just a little flick off the pads down to the fine leg boundary, and a welcome one for England. They move on to 43 for 3 after 9.5 overs. Doggett's look good so far, though, Just has to not get too carried away. Maybe looking for a bit of magic and just straying down the leg side. A few easy runs for England. Right, let's wait for this last ball of the 10th over. Here's Doggett in once more. Left alone outside the off stump this time. Good line to finish. So it's technically a maiden for Doggett on debut, because the leg buys don't go against his name. But after 10 overs, England are 43 for 3 after 10 overs. There's your score, boys and girls. There we go. Yeah, I couldn't find that that sort of whiteboard. I was looking for a mini whiteboard. The kind they have in in sitcoms like Friends, where they put it on the back of the door and you just write on the whiteboard. But yeah, I couldn't find one in my local supermarket. And also I was looking very late in the day. So couldn't find one. Right, let's have a look at this. Did you expect Joe Root to get out for naught? No, I didn't, Swan, if I'm honest. Sam, the new guy, looking scarier than Boland. Well, Boland was leaking runs, so I think not a bad move to get this new guy in. Here's Stark, who's going to continue. Down the track comes Brook and creams that ball through the covers. It hasn't got all of it, hasn't made terrific contact, but the ball is slowing up on the outfield, of course. It wasn't brilliant contact, to be fair. The outfield's not been ultra quick either, but Brook is off the mark in a very Brook way. Yeah, he picks up 3. Just came down the track completely against the road. Just comes down the track and says, forget about you, Mitch Stark. I can hit you wherever I want. Picks up 3 runs to get off the mark. Well, never change, Brookie. 46 for 3 the score after 10.1 overs. And yeah, I definitely did not expect Joe Root to get out for naught. I don't think most of us did, but there we go. England in a bit of trouble here. 46 for 3 after 10.1 overs. Stark in. This ball's been left alone by Ollie Pope outside the off stump through to the keeper. No run. Mitch Stark, 23 Ashes tests, 100 wickets, averaging 26.65. Just a freak. Unbelievable performance. Now, what can Ollie Pope do? See, Ollie Pope is one of the players who wasn't talked about very much in the build-up, He's not as glamorous as like Root and Pope and Root and Brook and even Duckett and Stokes himself. Ollie Pope sort of goes under the radar, but he's on 18 of 27. He's got an opportunity to play a big innings here for England. Can he take advantage? Right, Stark with figures of 3 for 13 from his 5.2, and he comes again to Ollie Pope, full, driven by Pope, only as far as mid-off, and there is no run. 46 for 3, the score remains after 10.3. Let's have a look at some of these comments. Swam says, Brooks the man who's going to turn this around. Maybe. Sam says, Brook has to do a Rishabh punt in order to unsettle these bowlers. Frederick says, show us the TV. Please, 7+ is blocked on my laptop. I'm sorry, Fred, I can't show you the TV because that would be a copyright infringement and I would lose my YouTube channel, which I really don't want to. And you shouldn't want me to lose it either. I make some really fun content. You should check it out. Some good long form stuff and good short form stuff. You should check it out, bud. Here's Stark in again, and as that ball's defended back to the bowler, there is no run. And Stark actually quite stylishly kicks the ball up in his follow through into his hands. Looks very cool doing it. And he's been bowling in a very cool way as well. He's into his 6th over. How many overs do you give him? How many overs do you give him in this spell? You don't want to wear him out, but also if you're Steve Smith, you don't want to take him off right now, do you? He's got you all 3 wickets. He's bowled beautifully. He's bowled like a dream. Australia's slip catchers have made absolutely no mistake either. Lambashane took a really good one at 3rd slip. Khwaja at 1st slip. Not making any mistakes. They're up for this, Australia. And putting in a heck of a performance. Here's Stark into Pope. Short outside the off stump. Left alone by Pope. Through to the keeper. No run. Just gotten past an hour of live streaming, actually. So hope you guys are enjoying it. If you are, give us a thumbs up. Appreciate it. It helps me in the algorithms and all that, and on YouTube. So if you're watching, give us a little thumbs up. If you got any other mates who are watching, it makes a good second screen experience. If you're watching the game, it's like you're watching it with a mate. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm basically trying to make it feel like you're watching it with a friend, with a buddy. I should probably check what it looks like actually, because I've got a second screen ready over here. Let's just see what the stream looks like. I'll tell you what happens. Last ball of the 11th over. Let's do that first. Stark in. Pope guides it. Uppercut down to the deep 3rd boundary. 1 bounce 4. Little top edge really from Pope. Big top edge, not a little one. And it just flew off the surface. It's gone for 4. And yeah, he wasn't really in control of that, but a reasonably safe shot to play, I'm going to say, with no deep 3rd man in position. So England reached their 50. England 50 for 3 after 11 overs. There's your score. 50 for 3 after 11 overs. All right, let's make sure our streaming is working. If I open that up. Oh, God, it's going to make me do all this. Yeah, if you can leave some positive stuff on my channel, I'd really appreciate it. If you're, following this match, then please do. Check out my other videos on YouTube as well afterwards. Like I've made a lot of content about all sorts of things. There's a few videos about the Ashes. I did a video about Bodyline. You can check that out. I did a video about what else did I make a video about the Ashes, the history of the urn itself. So please do check that out. And thanks whoever I did that like. I just saw the like went up by 1. Right, let's read these comments. Sam says, England not playing Shoaib Bashir. Do you think it's too defensive of a move from the English? No, if anything, I think it's really attacking, Sam, because like a spinner sort of buys you, some option, gives you an option to give your seamers a bit of a break and things like that. But I don't think Ben Stokes is thinking like that. I think he's thinking, I want to be aggressive. I think there's pace in this wicket. I want my fast bowlers to do the attacking. And I always have Joe Root to turn to if I need a spinner to get me through some overs or get the fast bowlers a break. I quite like it. You got Atkinson, you got Cast, you got Archer, you got Wood. You want to go with a pace battery. We can see how well Mitch Stark is bowling. Players are taking a drink, by the way, so I'll have a moment to chat. It's the first drinks break. England are 50 for 3 after 11 overs. Having chosen to bat first. Ben Stokes won the toss a little bit earlier. Steve Smith said he would have batted first as well had he won the toss. So you could say a good toss to win. But either way, I think, I don't think it's defensive at all, Sam, if I'm honest, from England. I think it's actually quite attacking. to play a full old school fast bowling lineup. Bashir, I think they just wanted. I think the thing with Bashir was it was if Mark Wood wasn't fit. So you probably read in the previews Mark Wood's fitness being talked about, whether he's going to be okay, whether he's not. But like I think once they realized Mark Wood was going to be fit, he was always going to be playing this test match. So yeah. By the way, just to let everybody know, I'm gonna be at the end of sort of at lunch. We're gonna end this stream. I'm gonna start a brand new stream for the second session, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna find a way to do that off my laptop so I can free up my phone and hopefully give you guys a better camera angle than the one you're getting right now. Is this okay? I don't know. Like this is the long ways live stream. I might do the wide ways live stream if that makes any sense. I don't know. You know what I mean? Right, Doggett's going to continue after drinks. He's been impressive in his first over, actually. Just the one offline delivery, which went for 4 leg buys. But he's started quite well. We've had just over an hour of play so far. So, Doggett into Harry Brook, full, driven, back to the bowler, no run. Harry Brook is going to be very interesting to watch here. I don't know what his approach. Well, he's not going to hang about, right? He's going to, just having a look. This is very interesting. He's got quite a gentle run up to the crease as Doggett, and then his release is at about 135 miles per hour. Very interesting bowler. They've got some cool graphics on the broadcast as well. I think this is the world feed, so it's the same feed that goes all over the world. And they've got these really funky graphics for the bowlers as they're running in it. Puts their skeletons and things in place. Here's Doggett in and driven hard by Brook without much timing to a sort of wideish set mid-off fielder, and they'll pick up a single. Brook onto 4. England 51 for 3 after 11.2 overs. Right, what have you said, Sam? I feel that Stokes is afraid Shoaib might leak too many runs in this pitch, therefore he is out. Maybe, maybe like sometimes a spinner, particularly on a surface where seamers can get on top, as we've seen with Mitch Stark, like spinners offer a bit of respite, right? They've got some attacking batters as well. Doggett in, that ball's pushed into the offside, no run. So when you've got someone like Stark, for example, who's like running roughshod over the batters and getting himself very hard to score off. Now you got Doggett coming in, who England won't have seen too much of as well. And Boland sort of was offline, but if you've got these options, would you really want to release the pressure with a spin bowler? You could see the likes of Brook and Stokes going after the spinner, couldn't you? And you could just as easily see, in the England lineup, we'll come back to that in a second, as a Doggett in pushed to the offside. So when Shoaib Bashir's bowling, you can see the likes of Travis Head, Cam Green, like they could really go after the spinner. So, and Shoaib Bashir is a terrific bowler. He's still learning, obviously. He's a big part of England's long-term plan, but I don't think he's like a big, he wouldn't be considered a huge turner of the ball, particularly on this kind of surface, which is giving so much to the seamers. I don't think spin's going to be a huge thing here, but we'll wait and see when Nathan Lyon comes into the attack, how quickly he comes into the attack. Does he come into the attack at all today? We'll wait and see. There's Doggett into Ollie Pope. Thick outside edge. Oh, a sliding effort from Boland. Gully is unsuccessful. He just missed the ball altogether. Looked a little bit foolish there, actually. It's not Boland. That's Cam Green over there. They managed to take just a single, so the score moves on to 52 for 3 after 11.5 overs. Yeah, it's not a terrific fielding effort at all from Cam Green, if I'm honest. A little bit embarrassing. Right, 1 ball to come in this Doggett over. Harry Brook is on strike. He's looking to play his shots as Brookie. I would put my money on a shot coming here. Definitely going to try and play. Yeah, he steps away, makes a bit of room and guides that ball down to the deep backward point boundary. There is a deep third in position, but he was never going to get there. It's quite an intelligent shot, actually, from Harry Brook, knowing where the field is. Pretty safe in the end. Bit unorthodox for Test cricket, but you'll take runs any way you can get them if you're England. 12 overs have been bowled in this England innings. The score is 56 for 3. Let's get that down, 56 for 3, 12 overs. There we go, guys. There's a score. England, I can't really say recovering. The second wicket partnership felt like a bit of a recovery when Pope and Duckett were going, but then Joe Root getting a first baller. Yeah, I don't think that was in anybody's first baller. Sorry, he didn't get a first baller. He went for a duck. But that was tough going. England 56 for 3 after 12 overs. Now Boland is coming back into the attack. Mitch Starc is getting a break. So how many overs was Mitch Starc's spell? That was Mitch Starc bowled 6 overs. So his spell, 3 for 17 from 6 overs with 3 maidens. I'm going to say that's outstanding from Mitch Starc. 3 big wickets. Just brilliant start for Mitch Starc for Australia. Now then, Scott Boland back in for a second spell. His first spell was very expensive, 4 overs, 0 for 29. In he comes now to Ollie Pope, who leaves a good length ball outside the off stump, finding a better channel now. Right. Right, let's have a look. What have you said, Sam? The shots by Brooke remind me of Sehwag. Wow, Virender Sehwag. Listen, if you're comparing Brooke to Sehwag, he's going to enjoy it. I tell you what they've got in common. Both Brooke and Sehwag have scored triple centuries in Pakistan. That's the one thing they have in common. But yeah, a bit of Sehwag. It's the audacity, right? Sehwag always played some really audacious shots. Great player. Here's Scott Boland in, and that's a good length outside the off stump. Left alone, through to the keeper. No run. Boland looks like he's found a better length this time around. Pope is on 23 of 37 deliveries. England's top scorer so far in this innings. They've got a long way to go. But so far, Australia have made really good inroads. I think they would be thrilled with this, with Crawley, Duckett, and Root back in the dressing room. England 56 for 3, scoring runs quickly as we expected, but those fall of wickets are going to be hurting. Boland into Pope, short outside the off stump. Pope leaves it alone, goes through to the keeper, no run. Yeah, Steve Smith just inspects the ball, teases a little leg spinner. Remember when Steve Smith made his debut for Australia and he was supposed to be a leg spinner? It feels like a million years ago now, but he was supposed to be a leg spinner when he debuted, Steve Smith. But yeah. Right, let's have a look at this. 1981 AHP says, audacity, yes, but the footwork was very different. Batters, Sehwag was very stand and deliver. Yeah, I feel like I've seen Sehwag step across, as in move outside his leg stump, make room, and play the ball through the covers. I can see the Sehwag reference, if I'm honest. I can see it. Shades of it. Boland into Pope, who defends in a conventional manner outside the off stump, plays it to mid-off, no run. Score is 56 for 3 after 12.4 overs. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way. If you want, you can copy the link to it, send a few WhatsApps for me. Keep the morale up so I can keep going. I don't mind, actually, even if there's not too many. I quite enjoy doing this, but if you were able to spread it for me, I'd appreciate it. And I hope you're enjoying it. Just trying to keep you all company while you watch the Ashes. Is Boland into Ollie Pope, who drives past the bowler. A bit of a chase on for mid-off here, as that ball's trickling, really slowing up towards the long off boundary. And Ollie Pope's they're gonna get back for 3. It should have gone for 4. Everybody else who's driven the ball past the bowler today has managed to get the ball to the boundary. Like every other batter has managed to get the ball to the boundary, driving past the bowler, because mid-on and mid-off are square of the wicket. And for some reason, Ollie Pope is the first batter today who's failed to do that. I think he needs a different bat. He's using a Gray Nichols bat. This is not a great advertisement for the Gray Nichols bat, because he's not managed to get the ball to the boundary. Every time he's attempted it, he's got how many boundaries? He's got 2 boundaries to his name, but yeah, just so many times he's just not really got it as far as he needed to. Boland in, and that one's just about fended off by Brooke into the onside, no run. That is the end of the 13th over. So England, after 13 overs, are 59 for 3. 13 overs. Here's your score, boys and girls. 59 for 3 after 13 overs. The 3 wickets to fall. Zach Crawley, Ben Duckett, and Joe Root, all to Mitch Stark, who's been terrific. Right, comments. Right, Sam says, who do you think should be the next bowling change, Green or Lyon? Definitely for me, Green. The seamers are already flying. You don't want to go to Lyon just yet. Occasional Traveller says, who took the 3 wickets? They were all taken by Mitch Stark. So 2 were caught. One was caught in the slips, I beg your pardon. No, 2 were caught in the slips. So Zach Crawley caught at first slip, Root caught at third slip. Hang on, dug it in and dug it. Yeah, I'm getting money. Anyway, there's a little cut shot attempted by Pope. Ball kept low and went through to the keeper, no run. Yeah, so I was talking you through the dismissals, wasn't I? Occasional Traveller. Right, so first slip, catch, Usman Khwaja. That was to dismiss. Crawley, pretty poor shot if we're honest. And then Joe Root was caught at third slip by one that squared him up by Stark. The catch was Marnus Lambashane, and who else was it? Duckett was LBW. It was dismissed LBW also by Stark. So it was all him. Last ball was defended for no run, by the way. 59 for 3 after 13.2. He's looking more and more convincing as Ollie Pope. It's still not a lot of power in those shots, but he's looking more and more convincing. Yeah, so there you go. 1981 AHP says, fair enough, but Brook moves around the crease a lot more than any batter from the Sehwag era. I'll give you that for sure. Let's compromise. There's Doggett in, overpitched and flicked away out towards the mid-wicket boundary. That's going to be 4 runs. Surely that's going to get to the boundary. It does get to the mid-wicket boundary. So Ollie Pope onto 30 with that shot. It was overpitched, and he picked up the length very quickly, did Ollie Pope, and sent the ball all the way along the ground to the mid-wicket boundary. England 63 for 3. Just taking another look at it, Doggett. Yeah, just overpitching. And just responding to that very quickly. Ollie Pope, who's looked good so far. I try not to put the mockers on him like I did Ben Duckett earlier. I thought Duckett was on for a ton, and then he was dismissed LBW. Doggett, for God's sake, in to Ollie Pope, down the leg side, through to the keeper, no run. Score remains 63 for 3 after 13.4 overs. Right, what else we got in terms of comments? Definitely enjoying it, Atif Bhai. Thank you, Dibraj. It's like kind of a visual radio on YouTube, or even old wine in a new bottle, etc. Thanks, Dibraj. I really appreciate that, buddy. And Sam says, the flick by Pope was so good. It was good. Really good timing. Sort of clipped it, didn't he? It's a nice shot. England need to build a bit of a partnership here. Pope and Brook. Wow. Brook's on 8 of 6. Pope on 30 of 43. England's run rate is over 4.5. And I don't know if you'll remember this, but in the warm-up match between England and the England Lions, as Pope cuts this ball hard out towards the deep backward point boundary, it's slowing up on this outfield. Will the fielder get there? He will. Oh my God, the ball was basically static by the time Cam Green got to it. And Ollie Pope, you need a better bat, buddy. You just do. He got 3 runs for it. He's had to run a lot of threes today. Let's have a look. How good was the contact? Maybe this one wasn't right off the meat of the bat. Yeah, okay, slightly edgy, but it doesn't matter. He picked up 3. Yeah, I forget what I was saying now. I lost my train of thought. But England up to 66 for 3 after 13.5 overs. Yeah, in the warm-up match, the tour match, England played against England Lions. So it was like basically an internal match. And in that match, Ollie Pope scored 190 in the 2 innings. So he's in very, very good form. And despite that, there's not been a lot of preview pieces written about him. As Doggett into Harry Brook. This is short, and Brook ducks. It goes through to the keeper, no run. I kind of understand. Like, I didn't write anything about Ollie Pope. He hasn't really featured in my build-up. I feel bad about that. Hang on, I'll tell you more in a second because the over is done. So let's continue with our discipline. What is it? 66 for 3 after 14 overs. There we go. That's the score. 66 for 3 after 14 overs. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, all right, let's have a read of the comments because I definitely lost my train of thought. I was going to tell you about Ollie Pope. I'll tell you a really good story about Ollie Pope in a second. Okay. Pope feels like a bootleg version of Ian Bell. Very good, Sam. Very good. Um, yeah, sort of. I see Boland into Pope plays the ball with soft hands into the offside. Field is a deep set, so they get through for a quick single. Score moves on to 67 for 3 after 14.1 overs. So in 2024, I was with the BBC Test Match Special Team on commentary for England's tour of Pakistan, and it coincided with my 40th birthday. And our producer very kindly got the England team to sign a pair of shorts for me because I have the England tops, like I've got the training tops, but they got me a pair of training shorts. And Ollie Pope, who was captain in that series because Stokes was out, signed it for me. As Boland in, that's clipped away nicely, straight to square leg though, no runs for Brook on that occasion. Boland gets away with over pitching that time. So yeah, I have a pair of signed shorts by Ollie Pope, which was it says "Happy Birthday, Artif," which was quite nice. So yeah, right. We are getting mirror image of scorecard. Says occasional traveler. Yeah, I know, man. I don't know. I don't know how to flip it. I'm gonna work on this. Okay, I'm gonna work out how to put an actual scorecard on the screen that updates itself. Boland in, big heave from Brook. He misses as the ball goes through to the keeper. Oh my god, that was an ugly, ugly shot from Harry Brook. He survived it because he didn't get anything on it, but he wasn't likely to middle that. He was more likely to get an inside edge onto his stumps. But it was a really sort of agricultural heave from Harry Brook, and he missed it completely. And all the slip fielders had their arms up in the air like that. Stoke City. There's a Stoke City flag. What are the other flags? Dronfield Owls, the Jam, loads of different flags. Right. Here's Scotty Boland in, and short ball, which Brook defends quite casually actually into the offside. No run. Score still 67 for 3. That's cool though. Thanks, occasional traveler. Appreciate it. I'll work it out. And yeah, lots of England fans have travelled for this game. I know quite a few England fans who've travelled for the game, not just broadcasters, but like actual fans who've gone to watch and enjoy the action, and that's great. I think that's wonderful. I'm so glad that people have taken time out to go and enjoy it live. And beats being in London right now, which is where I am. I'm in London, and it's freezing, so cold in London, and it looks really hot and nice out in Australia. Not at all jealous. Not at all jealous. Right, Boland into Harry Brook. What's he going to attempt this time? Full, driven beautifully. Oh, that is gorgeous from Harry Brook. It's going to go to the long off boundary for 4. There was actually a fielder not too far away from the ball, but that was beautifully timed by Harry Brook. Picks up a boundary. He's into double figures with that. He's on to 12. England 70. Is it 71? Yeah, 71 for 3. 1 ball to come in the 15th over. That's a lovely shot. Just over pitches and bang, right off the middle of the bat from Harry Brook. Easy runs for him. Scott Boland has just not been the one today for Australia. I think Doggett's looked all right, and Stark has been outstanding. And this time, Brook just makes room, looking to guide the ball through the offside. Boland follows him, and in the end, Brook defends the ball into the onside, no run. So, score is 71 for 3 after 15 overs. I'm sorry, I know this is going to come across mirrored, but I'm just keeping my routine going. Right, here we go. What a shot that was from Harry Brook. Shot of the day, I'm going to say. Is that shot of the day? Was there any better shots played? I don't know. Right, Sam says, Brook's straight drive is heavenly. You know what? That was a heavenly shot. It was outstanding. And England, this is the thing about scoring quickly. It wasn't that long ago England lost their top 3. What was the score when the 3rd wicket fell? 39 for 3. So England were 39 for 3. And very quickly, they're now 71 for 3. So Pope and Brook scoring at a good rate. Doggett to continue on a leg stump line, flicked away down to the fine leg. Oh, there is a fielder at fine leg. It's Scott Boland. They'll just pick up a single. And it's another one for Ollie Pope, who moves on to 35 of 46 deliveries. England are 72 for 3. They haven't updated the scoreboard on the feed, but I can work that one out. I can add one to the score. Yeah, it was a terrific straight drive from Harry Brook. Very good player. Very, very good player. Big crowd as well in the Optus Stadium in Perth. They're enjoying themselves. We've already seen some great action. Doggett into Brook, who works this ball just wide of the mid-wicket fielder and pick up an easy single. Rotating the strike well at the moment. Brook and Pope, 73 for 3 England, as closing in on halfway through the 16th over. They've not bowled ultra quickly. There have been 3 wickets falling, to be fair, which slows down the run rate a little bit because obviously you've got to wait for a bat to go off and then come back in and mark their guard and all that kind of stuff, which slows things down. But it's pretty good. Pretty good stuff from these guys. It's been very entertaining cricket in this first session. Now then, Doggett into Pope, down the leg side, well taken by Carey behind the stumps. No run though. Another dot ball, 73 for 3. The score remains. I feel like Australia just want to get through a few quiet overs, like they want to build a few maidens. If you think about what Mitch Starc did so well at the beginning, was he just made it impossible to score runs off him. Bowled a wicket maiden, then a maiden, and a few runs off the next one, then another few runs off the next one, but then another wicket maiden. So England really struggle, particularly in this Bazball era. They really struggle with quiet patches where they're not able to score runs at a rapid rate, and that's where you're in as an opposition. Doggett in, short outside the off stump, cut away nicely by Pope, but straight to backward point. They'll get through for a single. Yeah, they will get through for a single. The score moves to 74 for 3 after 15.4 overs. Pope's on 36 off 48 deliveries. Brook on 13 off 13. And I've just seen ESPN Cricket Info has made a little mistake. I think they've listed that last one as a dot ball, but they picked up a single. Definitely picked up a single. 74 for 3 after 15.4 overs. Doggett into Brook on the leg stump line. I think he takes a bit of pad and sort of dribbles out towards the fine leg region where Scott Boland fields. They'll take a leg by, I think. Wait for the umpire signal. Yeah, it is a leg by. England 75 for 3 after 15.5 overs. So their recovery is very much ongoing. Right, 1981, what have you said? Yeah, 115 for 4 at lunch won't look as bad as 39 for 3. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good shot. 115 for 4. They'll take that. 4? These guys are looking okay. Doggett into Pope, who drives straight down the ground. There is a mid-on. Mid-on is a lot straighter now. And that's a dot ball. Previously, we've seen mid-on be a little bit wider and more in front of square. But this time, they're in a more conventional position. So, score is 75 for 3 after 16 overs. There we go. 75 for 3 after 16 overs. Right. They're showing this graphic about weight transfer at the moment. It's vaguely interesting. I don't think it gives you too much of an insight into how things are going on right now. But obviously, broadcasters are going to have to sell you things, aren't they? Right, now then. Harry Brook on 13 off 14 is on strike. England 75 for 3 after 16 overs. Scott Boland about to bowl his 7th over. Been expensive. Boland's gone for more than a run of ball so far. 6 overs, 0 for 37. He's been the leak. Boland into Brook, who turns the ball defensively to mid-on. There is no run. Bowled at just over 135 kilometers per hour as Boland, so good pace, but he's not found the potency that his teammates have. Doggett, who's bowling alongside him, hasn't taken any wickets yet, but just seemed a little bit more consistent, even though he's gone for 4 and over from his 4 overs so far as well. Scoring rate, not a problem for England. Keeping the pace up. If you just joined us, by the way, England won the toss earlier and opted to bat first. 2 slips in place now for Boland as he comes to Brook, who defends the ball off a thick inside edge onto his pad. There is no run. Yeah, I was at 4 slips down to down to 2 as the ball maybe swinging a little bit less now. It is 16 overs old. It's been hit around a little bit as well. 75 runs scored by England so far for the loss of 3 wickets. And yeah, it's been good stuff. It's been good stuff. Thank you so much, everybody who's with me. And if you're enjoying it, please do give us a thumbs up and invite other people to join us as well. I just noticed our thumbs up went down. Maybe somebody downvoted me. I don't know. But appreciate everybody who's with me. Having fun. Boland in. That ball's turned into the onside. There is no run. Right. Let's have a look. What have you said, Sam? I would pay money to watch a Bazball partnership between Brooke and Jamie Smith. Wouldn't that be something? That would be really, really cool if they could pull that off. Yeah, I think England would like it if there was a big gap between Jamie Smith batting right now and the sort of stability that Ollie Pope. I mean, Ollie Pope right now with Root gone is the closest thing England have to like a sort of conventional Test player. But even he's batting at a strike rate of what, 75? Boland into Brooke, who guides the ball, but only as far as gully, and there is no run. Good over this from Boland. It's been better than some of his previous overs. Yet to concede a run from his first. Oh, just as I say that, that fourth ball was actually a no ball. Overstepping, yeah, just over the line. The line belongs to the umpire. You got to get something behind it, and he did not. So that's a no ball. It was a good over up until then for Boland, but it's gone the other way. Oh, what is going on? I'm losing all my thumbs ups. If you're watching and you're enjoying, please do give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out in the algorithm. And maybe tell your friends. There's Boland in, over pitching, flicked nicely, but can't beat mid on. No run. Score remains 76 for 3. Just a no ball off this over so far. And yeah, no, it's been. Have you guys enjoyed this? I hope it's been all right. If you've enjoyed it, then recommend it to your friends. The plan is to keep doing this, actually, to do it more often. So yeah, every bit of encouragement helps. Every little bit helps. Right. Anyway, let's see what England can salvage. There's what, about half an hour played to go. I think about half an hour played to go in this first session. Australia would be looking for one more wicket. I think one more wicket and you'd make it Australia's session, regardless of how many runs England get. As Boland into Brooke, who defends the ball from his crease, back to the bowler. There is no run. So yeah, I think if you've been put into field and you take 4 wickets in the first session, it's your session. Even if the opposition score like 150 runs. Like if you got 4 wickets in the first session, it's your session as the bowling side. So England will just want to, I mean, they're going to score runs. That's just the way England play. But if they can just maintain this somehow, just keep it to 3 wickets lost at the lunch break, I think they'll breathe a little bit easier. And their captain, Ben Stokes, will feel a little bit more vindicated. Getting ready to update the scores. Last ball of the 17th over coming up. Boland into Brooke, who plays the ball with soft hands into the offside. Oh, looking for a single. There's a shy at the stumps from the keeper's end. And there's going to be an overthrow. Not the best piece of fielding. And England will pick up 1. Brooke onto 14 off 21. Pope on 36 off 49. England, after 17 overs, are at 77 for 3. There we go. There's your score. Enjoy. Well, just an opportunity here for England to squeeze. I don't think England are thinking, we want to bat for 2 days here. I don't think that's the approach from England. I think they just have a number in mind. I was thinking at the start of the match that number would be like between 300 and 350. Maybe a little bit more. Obviously, they'd want as many as they can get, but I think if they got to 350, they'd be thrilled, England. And particularly from this position, when they were 39 for 3, recover from that, get to 350, you're over the moon, I would imagine. And so far, this partnership worth 38 runs off 50 balls for England. Doggett's going to continue for a 5th over. Figures of 0 for 16 from his 4 so far, as in he comes to Harry Brooke. over pitching slightly. Brook flicks the ball straight to mid-on. There is no run. It's along the ground, should point out. We're just trying to get a measure of control back, Australia. The last couple of overs have been a bit quieter. Just the 2 runs off the last over, 4 runs, I beg your pardon, off the over before. So what they want is a couple of quiet overs here, Australia, just to tie down England, try and create a mistake and get that 4th wicket before this session. England on the flip side, England just want to score runs as quickly as possible. That's all they do. That's how they roll. Now then, Doggett is being annoyed by something at the top of his run. Now he's ready to deliver. And he comes to Harry Brook. It's a short ball. Brook not interested, just ducks. Lets the ball go through to Alex Carey behind him. And there is no run. 77 for 3. This would be quite something. England really, if England win this Ashes, it would be... England haven't won the Ashes since 2015. They came close in the last Ashes series, which ended 2-2. So obviously Australia retain if it's a draw. If it's a draw here again, Australia will retain. So England need to win the series. And they'll really fancy their chances. Stuart Broad said this is the weakest Australian team in a very long time. So Doggett into Brook, who turns this ball just in front of square on the leg side. Will jog through for an easy single. Score moves on to 78 for 3, I beg your pardon. And I've got some of my friends commentating on TNT at the moment. Ebony Rainford, Brent, and Stephen Finn. 2 of my favourite people to work with actually on the BBC, on TMS. They're out there for TNT Sports at the moment. I don't know if they're out there or if they're doing it remotely, but either way, they're brilliant commentators and really lovely people. Here's Doggett into Pope, who drives, pleasant looking drive, but can't beat mid-off. There is no run. England just a little bit stuck at the moment. We're getting a nice little passage here where scoring is becoming a bit trickier for England. 78 for 3. Obviously, England shouldn't be worried about net run rate, but we know the way England operates, so can't rule it out. Those rash shots are always there or thereabouts with England. 78 for 3, 17.4 overs gone. Doggett, with his 2 slips in place, is in. And again, bowls a very tidy length, which Pope respects and defends the ball back to the bowler. He's looked good so far, Doggett. I know his figures don't look like anything special. 0 for 17 from 4.5, but I've enjoyed watching him bowl, actually. I think he's been very tidy, quite metronomic, actually. Just a couple of loose-ish deliveries, but generally speaking, he's kept things very tidy. Ollie Pope, he's really dug in here, 36 off 51. He's dug in by the standards of his team so far, I should say. It's not exactly a Gavaskar innings, is it? That one's left alone outside the off stump, and there is no run. So England 78 for 3 after 18 overs. We could just adjust this, I think. There we go. Just had to turn the 7s into 8s. 78 for 3 after 18 overs. Don't worry, all this paper will be recycled, I promise, once I'm done with this this broadcast. And well, Nathan Lyon is going to bowl. There we go. Who was it? Somebody earlier asked me if it would be Lyon or Cam Green, and I said Cam Green, but I was wrong. Nathan Lyon is going to come into the attack, and the thinking from Steve Smith here is pretty straightforward. Tempt the batters, I think he's thinking Harry Brook in particular, into playing some big shots and maybe get yourself that wicket before lunch. Nathan Lyon most likely to do that. Also, I think he's got half an eye on the over rate as well. 18 overs in sort of an hour and 40 minutes isn't wonderful in terms of over rates from Australia. Currently looking at about 10 overs in an hour. That's no good at all. That's fine territory, actually, so it's something they need to improve upon. Right, Nathan Lyon. What a career. 562 test wickets for Nathan Lyon. He's 37 years old, 140 matches, 140 test matches. How many did Sachin Tendulkar play in the end? Who knows that off the top of their head? Somebody let me know. I could look it up, but I'm just fascinated to see how Brook takes him on. Long on his back. His long off back as well. The mid off is up inside the circle, but long on his back. Nathan Lyon into Brook, who plays the ball defensively into the offside. There is no run. There's a short leg and a slip in place. So, sort of a half attacking, half defensive field from Steve Smith. I don't mind it as a strategy. He's got a very clear plan that he wants to tempt him. Floated delivery outside the off stump, driven by Brook out towards a deepish, sort of a halfway between a deep point and a conventional point by Brook. They'll pick up a single. And Brook moves to the non-strikers end. England 17-9 for 3. Now, how will Ollie Pope take on Nathan Lyon? Will he follow? I mean, Brook already looked to be a bit aggressive, didn't he? Let's see if Pope wants to keep that going. There's Nathan Lyon in. Floated delivery, driven to extra cover. Oh, he misfields at extra cover. Mid-off will come round and tidy up. Will they get through for a single? Yeah, they do. They got through for a quick single. Good running by Pope and Brook, particularly Brook, who was running to the danger end. England 80 for 3 after 18.3 overs. And, yeah, Brook just taking his time, just reapplying the straps on his gloves. Short leg, quite a deep short leg actually for him. Steve Smith has that slip himself. There's Nathan Lyon into Harry Brook. Fly to delivery, which Brook drives nicely past extra cover. Fielder at deep backward point is going to have to run around. They should be able to get back for an easy 2. They do. Another couple of runs for England. Now this is the gamble really for Steve Smith. England 82 for 3. Now here he's thinking Brook's going to take on the spinner, and he might still take on the spinner. He's on strike. But if Brook just keeps sort of milking Lyon on a pitch that isn't giving him very much, England could accumulate pretty quickly without taking too many chances. Here's Nathan Lyon into Harry Brook. There's a short. Brook guides it out towards a deep backward point region, picks up another single. See, they've managed to get runs in this over without trying very hard, and I don't know if this is a good strategy from Australia to go to Lyon. You sort of understand the thinking. They think he's going to go for it. But thus far, he's been very contained, as Harry Brook contained himself. Lyon into Ollie Pope, who again works this ball nicely just behind square on the offside. He'll pick up another single. So run a ball over from Lyon. His first over, concedes 6. England 84 for 3 after 19 overs. Let's write that down for y'all. It is 84 for 3 after 19 overs. There we go. There's your score. I know it's flipped, but it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. That's just how we're doing it. 84 for 3. Is this good or bad? It's hard to say, isn't it? Hard to say. But I think England will be quietly pleased with this. Like those 3 wickets early doors, obviously not great. 39 for 3 is where they were. But it's been a bit of a recovery. Now, if they can go into lunch without dropping a wicket, here we go. It's a double change. Cameron Green is about to come in and bowl alongside Nathan Lyon. I believe Cam Green is the only member of this 11 under the age of 30. Everybody else is at least 30 years old. Cam Green, the only one under the age of 30. He's going to come in and bowl. England 84 for 3 after 19 overs. Green into Pope, who plays a slightly late pass to second slip down towards a deep third. They'll just jog through for a single. Just having a little look at Cam Green there. Maybe surprised by the bounce or maybe lack thereof. It hasn't been as bouncy as I think people anticipated, this Perth wicket. Mitch Stark really made use of the swing that was on offer. I wonder if Stark will have one more burst before lunch. If you were Australia, you'd be tempted to give him a couple of overs, wouldn't you? How far to go? About 16 minutes of the session left. England 85 for 3. Brook on strike. He's on 19. Green into Brook. This is short. Brook goes to the pull shot. Connects, but there is a fielder down at fine leg. So they'll just pick up a single. Accumulating with relative ease at the moment, England. Not a huge amount of pressure from the support bowlers. All 3 wickets taken by Mitch Stark. He dismissed Zach Crawley first, caught at first slip. Then he dismissed Ben Duckett, LBW. And then the big wicket, Joe Root, for a duck, caught at third slip. So really, really good display of fast bowling from Mitch Starc up top. Over pitch from Green, driven nicely by Ollie Pope. Fielder at mid-on is going to give chase, but only to pick up the ball from beyond the boundary. It's 4 runs for Ollie Pope, who's closing in on a half century here. He's on to 43 of 56 deliveries. England now starting to score at a good rate. 90 for 3 the score. And this is exactly what England were hoping for after their third wicket fell. A partnership, the 50 partnership. 51 of 65 deliveries. There's Green into Pope again. Again over pitching, flicked away out towards the mid-wicket boundary. It's a bigger side of the ground. Will the ball get there? No. I think the fielder's going to get there quite comfortably in the end. Weatherald does the fielding. They'll get back for 3 though. Good running between the wickets by this pair. Ollie Pope onto 46 of 57 deliveries. England 93 for 3 after 19.4 overs. So again, scoring at an excellent rate, England. Can't fault their scoring rate at all. But thus far, Australia, other than Mitch Starc, haven't really been able to find any real penetration of this England top order. All 3 wickets coming to Mitch Starc. Here's Cam Green. Has gone a little bit wider this time. It's been driven but mistimed towards mid-off. They'll pick up a single. Brook onto 21. Expensive start here from Cam Green. He's gone for 10 from his first 5 balls. And this change of bowling, this double change, hasn't really worked for Australia. 6 runs off Lyons' first over. Cam Green's has gone for 10 so far. And England's partnership between Brook and Pope just recovering things a little bit for the tourists. Here's Cam Green to finish off the over. It's full, big appeal for LBW. The finger goes up. The finger goes up. Cam Green, who's having a bit of a shocker of an over, has dismissed Ollie Pope, LBW. Now, will he review this? It struck him full. It looked like it was seaming towards the leg side. Ollie Pope does review. Maybe this is a missing leg. I'm not sure. The umpire's finger went up pretty quickly. There's a big moment in this game because this partnership was just recovering things for England. 55-run partnership between Brook and Pope. Pope's on 46. And Cam Green, after a very ordinary first 5 deliveries, could have got Australia a 4th wicket in this first session. Let's have another look at it. All right, here's the replay. Ooh, it's hitting him in front of leg. I think that's missing leg, you know. I don't think it's straightened enough. There's no bat on it. We know that. Otherwise, we would have reviewed it straight away. So I don't even think they need to waste time with Snicko. I mean, they have to. That's just the procedure. But I don't think this is going to... Let's see. Is it hitting the leg stump? Ultra edge is in. Oh, it's umpire's call. It's just clipping leg stump. Wow. Wow. Ollie Pope, little bit unlucky there. The ball's hitting the stumps though, so you can't say he's fully unlucky. But he was batting really well, was Ollie Pope, and he has to go. England lose their 4th wicket. Ollie Pope goes for 46. England 94 for 4 after 20 overs. Wow. Just as they were recovering. Just as they were recovering. It's been a fascinating first session this so far, hasn't it? Look at that. That's your score. 94 for 4 after 20 overs. Oh dear. Well, 55-run partnership comes to an end. And now Australia will get greedy. They'll want more than a 4th wicket. I mean, I know England scored 94 runs in pretty quick time, but this is Australia's session, whichever way you look at it. 4 wickets, they'll be looking to get through England in the next session. Now, Ben Stokes makes his way out to the middle. He punches gloves with Harry Brook as he comes out. And this is an important partnership for England as well. Ben Stokes, 7,032 runs in his Test career. It's a lot of runs. You forget how many runs Ben Stokes has scored for England over the years. There's a lot of runs. 7,032, averaging 35, 14 centuries, a best of 258, 116 matches, and still only 34 years of age. So, bit of a job to do here. Now, how's Ben Stokes going to approach this? Remember, there's less than 10 minutes to go to lunch. Sorry, just over 10 minutes to go to lunch. And this is a really good move from Steve Smith. You have to respect this. He's brought Mitch Starc back into the attack. So Nathan Lyon had a pretty ordinary first over. And now Mitch Starc is back in. Well, who was it that predicted 115 for 4 at lunch? Won't be too far off that, 94 for 4 after 20 overs. And Mitch Starc is about to start his second spell. This is intriguing. An intriguing session of play awaits. Harry Brooks on 21 off 30. Here's Starc into Brook, down the leg side. Not a great start. Pace still up there, 139 kilometers per hour from Mitch Starc. I don't think Harry Brooks is going to take any backward steps. You know that crest? The Australian cricket team, their crest, that green patch, it's got an emu on it. And the reason it has an emu is because the emu doesn't take any backward steps. Like, that's why it's their symbol, the symbol of Australian cricket. I don't know. Right, Harry Brook on 21 of 31. Mitch Starc, figures of 3 for 17 off his 6.1 so far. Starc in as Brook guides that ball, but straight to gully on the bounce. There is no run. Good pace against Starc, just ramping up on that second ball, 141.7 kilometers per hour. He's really going for it. Oh, taking another look at that LBW. See, it didn't look bang on, but umpire was like, bro, you're gone. I don't know, Who is the umpire? That's umpire Sharfadullah. No, it's not. Umpire Sharfadullah is the TV umpire. It was Nitin Menon. Of course it is. Sorry. Nitin Menon from India was the umpire for that decision. Adrian Holdstock was at square leg. Starc into Brook, who defends the ball from his crease to mid-off. There is no run. Well, England in a bit of trouble already here, I'm going to say. Because Australia will feel like they could bowl them out and be batting today. And Mitch Starc is looking a handful. Harry Brooks going to struggle to impose himself on Starc, I'm going to say. Just taking another look at the way he's bowling. Brooks' style of playing him is quite unorthodox as well. He sort of pulls his bat inside the line and then just drops his hands on it. Just play it with sort of soft hands, just sort of smothering the bounce almost. Unusual approach. Starc into Brook, who does the same thing, defends the ball again into the offside. And there is no run. It's quite effective, actually. You won't find it in any cricket textbooks, but it's quite effective. Starc still working very hard. Let's take another look at that last ball because they're giving us a close-up of Starc's hand as he releases it. Yeah, just flicks his wrist and his fingers behind the ball to give it a bit of extra oomph. Haven't seen any comments for a while, guys. So if you're still watching, just drop us a comment. And I'll incorporate you into the chat as we do. Brook on 21 off 34 deliveries. England 94 for 4. As Mitch Starc in once again. Brook makes a bit of room, steps outside the leg stump and has a wild whack at that. And doesn't make contact as the ball goes through to the keeper. Mitch Starc is walking back to his mark with a smile on his face. A bad guy from an old western. You know what I mean? You know those old westerns? Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I think it just glitched there for a second. Apologies for that. You don't know how these connectivity things work. Yeah, he's just smiling as he goes back to his mark. Mitch Starc. Why not? Figures a 3 for 17 from a 6.5. And he looks like he's about to bowl another maiden. And he comes again to Harry Brook, who works the ball to mid-on. There is no run. It is another maiden for Mitch Starc. That is his 4th maiden. 7 overs, 3 for 17. 4 maidens. 2 of them were wicket maidens for Mitch Starc. So don't have to do too much updating on my homemade scoreboard here. There we go. 94 for 4 after 21 overs. Look at that. Well. This is a fascinating session. It's all about if England can. I think right now the plot is can England survive without losing another wicket? Can they get to lunch at just 4 wickets? And if they can survive the next sort of 5 minutes, they'll go back, regroup, and work out exactly how many runs they want and how to go about it. Well, we know how they're going to go about it. They're going to play very aggressively. Jamie Smith still to come. Still batting to come. Slightly longer tail. I mean, Gus Atkinson can bat, obviously. Got a test century to his name. But slightly longer tail for England because you got Cass, you got Archer, and you got Wood. Here's Nathan Lyon for a second over. That ball's driven to cover. There is no run. Well, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Cam Green took a wicket with the last ball of his first over, and he's been replaced by Nathan Lyon, who's had a change of ends. Feels a bit harsh. Maybe that's just me. I just realised I think I've got a smudge on my head. Nathan Lyon in, and that's been driven down to long off for a single by Ben Stokes to get off the mark. England 95 for 4. I do have a smudge on my head. Is that my hair? Oh, it's just my hair. Actually, it's not a smudge. It's just my hair. Right, 95 for 4, England, 21.2 overs. I suspect there'll be one more over after this, and then they'll go for lunch. Maybe 2 more overs. If a Lion can get through this quick enough. He's still got that short leg and slip in place. Lion in. That ball's turned just wide of the fielder at short leg, and they'll pick up a single. They'll think about the second now. They'll just take one. And Brooke on to 22. England 96 for 4 after 21.3 overs. Ollie Pope, last batter dismissed. He went for 46 off 58. He looked very good before he got out. And his line into Stokes, who drives the ball down to long off. And we'll pick up another single. Just intriguing the way they've done this Nathan Lyon, Cam Green thing. Just weird, really, if you think about it, because like he took a wicket. Why would you take him off straight away? I don't know. Maybe he should get through an extra over, get Stark back in. I don't know. Lyon in. That ball's played off a thick inside edge on the bounce to short leg. There is no run. I think that's what it is, actually. That makes sense, doesn't it? I think the idea is to make sure Mitch Stark gets at least one more over in before lunch. Then they will definitely have time for one more over after this. One ball to come in this over. England 97 for 4. Harry Brook on 22 off 38 deliveries. Lyon into Brook, who drives just past a diving line and his follow through down to long on for a single. So England 98 for 4 after 22 overs. There's a score. Right. I think there'll be time for just one more over before lunch. And it's probably going to fall into the hands of Mitchell Stark, I'm pretty sure. Now, the question is, how will Harry Brook look to play it? Do you think he's going to play it out? Do you think he's going to play some shots? I think we all know the answer to that. He's going to try and play some shots, right? It's Harry Brook. Let's find out. Stark is ready. Final over before lunch about to commence. Here's Mitch Stark into Harry Brook, who comes down the track and creams this ball through the covers for 4. He made up his mind quickly. Harry Brook made a bit of room and crunched it aerially sort of to the left of the mid-off fielder and the right of the extra cover fielder. And I think just one bounce in the end to the boundary for 4. It was hit very well, very hard. A lot of pace coming on the ball as well from Mitch Stark. That is a boundary for Harry Brook, who moves on to 27. England 102 for 4. England's 100 came up with that boundary as well. 100 in the first session is pretty good. Maybe not when you've dropped 4 wickets. 102 for 4 after 22.1 overs. Mitch Starc. And again to Harry Brook, who makes a bit of room again. This time squirts the ball off a thick inside edge out towards mid-wicket. They'll just take a single. The score ticks on to 103 for 4 after 22.2 overs. Just taking a look at the way Brook has played some of his shots, comes down, not shy to come down the track, to move around his crease. Just an extraordinary player as Harry Brook, the way he plays his game. Now Stokes is going to be on strike to start. I wonder how he's going to go about it. Surely he'll just try and play out these next 4 balls and make it to lunch and regroup a little bit. Surely. We'll wait and see. Here's Mitch Starc into Ben Stokes, who he tried to leave that one and then sort of got back on it in his leaving motion as the ball bounces to point. There is no run. Not a very convincing leave there from Harry Brook. Mitchell Starc was interested. It is a dot ball in the end. 3 balls to go till lunch. Can Ben Stokes survive? Just goes for a little walk, does Ben Stokes. He's got a different way of just keeping himself focused out in the middle. Goes for little wonders and things like that. Right. 103 for 4 England. Remember, they won the toss, opted to bat first. Starc in, driven nicely by Stokes, but straight to mid-off, no run. Yeah, they won the toss earlier, Stokes. And said, we want to bat first. Steve Smith said, yeah, we would have done the same thing. And what have you said? Okay. Listen, my friend, don't be jealous of my follicles. Pretty good start this for Australia. 4 wickets in the first session. They'll be thrilled. Starc, chief destroyer, but Cam Green picking up a wicket and inexplicably not getting a second over. Starc in again, this time driven nicely by Stokes. It's trickling towards the long on boundary. Bit of a chase on here. That's Travis Head chasing it down, I think it is. They'll pick up 2. So just 1 more ball to negotiate. And England will make it through to lunch, 4 wickets down. No, none taken. Don't worry, buddy. 105 for 4 is the score for England. 1 ball to go to lunch. And I think in a weird way, both teams will be happy. I'm sure Australia will be happier, for sure. You know, get put into field, take 4 wickets in the first session, you're over the moon. Australia win the first session for sure for me. Here's Starc in, left alone by Stokes. Look at that, sensible cricket from the England captain. He lets the ball go through to the keeper. There is no run. And yeah, the teams will go to lunch. So England won the toss, opted to bat first. And 3 wickets fell very quickly. They were 39 for 3, in fact, at one stage. And then came a 55-run partnership between Harry Brook and Ollie Pope. So Zach Crawley was out for 0 off the bowling of Starc, caught by Khwaja. Ben Duckett went for 21 off 20 deliveries. He was LBW to Starc. Then Ollie Pope, I beg your pardon, Joe Root was next to go. He was caught by Lambashane off the bowling of Starc for 0. And Ollie Pope had a little partnership with Harry Brook before he was dismissed. LBW by Cam Green for 46 off 58 deliveries. And the 2 not out batters at the moment. Harry Brook on 28 or 41 deliveries. Ben Stokes on 4 off 7. So Australia session, I'm going to say. I think England had a few moments and they've scored at an excellent rate, but it won't count for much if Australia are batting again today, I would say. So really, really good stuff. Really entertaining first session, I'm going to say. Fascinating battle. Thanks to everybody who watched this live stream. I'll start another one for the second session in about half an hour's time. Please do join me then. If you enjoyed this stream, please do subscribe to my channel. Check out some of the other videos that are on my page. Try and have some fun with those. But yeah, the headline is England 105 for 4 at lunch on the first day of the first test of the 2005 Ashes. Right.